Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. Hope you guys are ready for this wonderful Monday. I'm trying to get the glare off of you guys, but doesn't seem to be working. That's okay. What did you guys do this weekend? I hope you had a great time. We are going to get the show started and get you guys out of here. As fast as we can. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm Peachy. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, great, great. So we had the She Wouldn't Let Me Fall book celebration this weekend.
Yeah.
So I had to do it. Bam. Here it is. Yeah, here it is.
It
So
looks
we
good.
are. Yeah, it was an awesome opportunity, guys. For those of you who don't know, I know I've been sharing it everywhere, but you might have missed it. Just in case you missed it, let me just tell you real quickly. This is the She Wouldn't Let Me Fall project. It was a vision of Coach Jamie's to bring women together to share their stories about the woman in their life who would not let them fall, which was amazing for this month of March, Women's History Month. And I was so excited, guys. I highlighted my mom in this book. And it was great for many of the co-authors to actually come together this weekend. We had the book release celebration. It was so crazy for everyone to be in the room together, to finally meet each other. We've been supporting each other on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, but we didn't really know each other. And when we finally came together, it was so amazing. So guys, I said all of that to say, if you would love a copy of She Wouldn't Let Me Fall, let me know and I'll get that out to you. We'll ship those right over to you. But this morning, if you're ready, we're going to go ahead with our Fearless Morning Show.
Good morning, everybody.
Anything else you wanted to add? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying good morning, everybody that joined the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Charlene. I'll get that copy over to you, darling, and I'll sign it for you. Yes, ma'am. I sure will. So our Fearless Morning quote today is from Mr. Colin Powell. I know it's Women's History Month, but his words were so powerful. I said I have to share today because they tie into the financial confession and conversation for today. And Colin Powell's quote is this: "There are no secrets to success. It is a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure." And I thought that was so profound for this moment because we always think about and we hear about, oh, these are the secrets to this, the secrets to that, right? The secret. And there was even an entire book, a movie called The Secret, right? And in actuality, there was no secret. What everybody did was they prepared, they worked hard, they learned from their failures. That was the theme that resonated in that book and in the video over and over and over, right? So go back and look for that, The Secret, right? Because like Colin Powell says, there are no secrets to success. It's about getting ready, right? Doing the work and learning from your failures. You have to fail in order to be successful or learn from the failures of others, as we learned in the previous quote last week. All right. So that's it for our Fearless Morning quote this morning. Anything you want to add to that, Miss Co-host?
No, that I love that because we say it all the time. There's no way around doing the work, my friend. No way around it. So absolutely. Get the working, dog.
Oh my gosh, you channel, was it Tommy Ford from
Martin?
Yes. Okay, guys. Absolutely, Trenda. I see you. Trenda, you say you would like your copy. Absolutely. I'll sign that and get it to you. So, guys, today's financial confession and conversation. I received, last week was the How Do I Begin series. And I received the most questions around the investing side of the table that were inboxed to me. So what I wanted to do was talk a little bit more in detail around those questions that I received. And one question in particular was, how do I know if an investment is a good deal? Because you talk about a good deal all the time, Lynn. How do I know? I'll say, guys, and I'll use the metaphor of tennis because, my husband and I, essentially, we're a tennis family, and we wouldn't have been a tennis family if it were not for him. Let me just say that. It would have been okay, that's another story. Let me just leave that alone, right? But we are a tennis family, and I thought this was so appropriate for those of you who are ready to get started investing. I wanted to use the tennis analogy that he used to help me when I first started out and I was learning how to hone my skill, right? Playing tennis is a skill as in any sport. The same thing in investing. Investing is a skill. You have to learn what are the action steps that you need to take, right, to master that skill. So the first thing is to get in the game, right? I had to get in the game. I couldn't just sit on the sidelines and watch someone else out there hit the ball and think that I'm going to win. But we never truly do anything. How many times have you thought about maybe investing? You're like, oh yeah, I want to invest in real estate. We sit and we watch and we don't really get in the game because we haven't truly learned how to, right? So that's the number one thing, first and foremost. As we do in tennis, we say you got to get in the game so you can learn how to play, right? Get in the game to learn how to play. The second thing, guys, is to get your head in the game, right? Get your head in the game. And that's something Robbie used to say to me all the time, because if I hit a ball and it sprays cross court, right? I'm hitting my forehand or my backhand and it sprays cross court. What's the thing he yells out to me? Get your head in the game. He's telling me that I'm not thinking it through when I'm making my shots. I'm not thinking it through when I hit that forehand. Where do I want it to go? Where do I want to position it? How do I turn my body so that I position it in the way that that I want the ball to go? So the same thing in investing, guys. You got to think that thing through so that everyone, so that you can make whatever your move is, right? What's your best move in your investing? And then the number 3 thing, guys, is just to stay in the game. You are going to lose. I'm not going to tell you how many times I lost before I had my first win. It was a lot of them. I stopped counting, but I kept going. And that's the same thing with investing. We have to figure out, guys, how are we now going to protect ourselves so that we can stay in the game? And one of the things that I love is that you don't focus on what you lost. Focus on what's left, right? And work with what you got. That's how you stay in the game. Don't focus on what's lost. Focus on what's left. Same thing happened a few weeks ago. Remember I told y'all when the stock market dropped and I was like, in that one day I lost $14,000. Well, that was chump change because Warren Buffett lost billions of dollars on that same day, right? But it's all in perspective. And I was like, wow, I lost X number of dollars. I said, so I have to refocus my energy, not on what I lost, but what's left. So I still have these things inside of my investment portfolio. So what is the next best move, right? So we have to position ourselves so that we're strategic, that we're thinking along those lines first and foremost. So how do you know if an investment is a good idea? So let me get these notes here for you. What if you don't think you can afford to lose? If you don't think you can afford to lose right now, then you need to position yourself to get in a space. See, this is the number one thing. Don't put any money into an investment that you need to eat with, to pay your mortgage or your rent with, right? That's going to deter the livelihood of your family, because that comes first. You got to eat. You got to have a place to lay your head. There are certain things that you must do. I get that. But it's about positioning yourself. And I don't want to set anyone up for failure, but we've had enough failure over our lives that we should now start learning from those mistakes and doing things differently, in my opinion. So my suggestion or recommendation is to set yourself up first so that you do have that extra. Identify where those funds are going to come from that you could potentially afford to lose. But this is the beauty of it. We don't want to live in that space of what can I afford to lose. See, that's a negative association with money. What we need to live in the space of is, of course, on the positive side. How do we positively associate with this? And that's a perfect question that leads me into the notes that I want to share with you guys today. So how do you know if an investment is a good idea? How do you now position yourself so that you're less likely to lose? There's a lower probability that you are going to lose this money. The way that you position yourself, guys, is to write this down. And these are the things we talk about. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to be talking about investing in paper assets like stocks and bonds and those liquidities are what they call them, equities, right? And also commodities. You can invest in gold and silver, things of that nature. But what you need to do first and foremost, guys, is know whether or not what you are investing in. First of all, you got to like what you're investing in. Know, like, and love what it is that you're investing in. The next thing that you have to do is to understand what they call the durable competitive advantage of that opportunity. What do I mean by that? Anything that's durable means that it's going to stand the test of time, okay? And then when we talk about the competitive advantage, yes, it is a competitive advantage. So look at it from this perspective. Blockbuster had a competitive advantage at one time. Everybody was going in and renting videos from Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster was killing the game. However, it was not as durable when Redbox came in, right? When Redbox came in, you didn't have to go to Blockbuster anymore to go get a video. You could go to Redbox, go put $1 in, get a video out of this, like a Coke machine, right? For lack of a better term, and actually rent a movie. See, Redbox, and not only Redbox, but also now Netflix, they help put Blockbuster out of business. So you have to truly know the business, know, like, and love it, and understand the durable competitive advantage of that business. Is it going to be able to stay in business for the long haul, as well as be profitable? See, once you understand that about the business, it positions you in a different way to now say, okay, this is a great opportunity for me to invest. And then the other thing that you have to know, after you know, like, and love, understanding the durable competitive advantage of a business, you also need to know whether or not this business is on sale. Is this a good price for this business, right? Just like we talk about when we go to Macy's, we know Macy's has that sale. We know when we're going to buy something for 50% off. That's the same thing that you need to be doing in your investments. Know enough about the investments so you can purchase it at a good price. And by purchasing it at a good price, the value of that is more than likely, inevitably, is going to rise, right? So now that presents the opportunity for you to make money within that business, okay? So case in point, Bitcoin, right? The people who jumped in on the cryptocurrency, if you jumped in June 2017, July 2017, August, September 2017, dare I say, your monies grew significantly through December, right? Because Bitcoin went from roughly, what was it, $800 a Bitcoin to almost $20,000 the end of December. Today, Bitcoin has now dropped to roughly, I didn't look at the numbers this morning, but it's like 9,000 and something the last time that I checked, okay? So if you had not bought in at that 20,000 in December, if you bought in November, December, you kind of hurting right now, right? Because that's a significant decline from 20,000 down to 9,000 right now. But what you can do is to make sure that you pay attention to the trends and set up indicators so that you know when to purchase at a good price. All right. So make sure that you understand what's happening. And I know Bitcoin is not the best example because it's volatile, it's new. You need something with history so that you can actually learn, right? What are the signals? What are those things you need to be looking out for that's going to give you a better picture of what a particular asset is going to do or how it will potentially perform in the markets. That's what I'm saying. But I said that because it was such a drastic example because of the volatility inside of that thing. So guys, you have to understand what makes this business wonderful, or this opportunity, or this real estate, or the stock, whatever it is that you plan to invest in. You have to understand, know, like, and love it. Know what the durable competitive advantage is of that item. And then you also need to know, when can I purchase this at a good price, right? When is this a good price? And when I say it's a good price, am I going to make more money off of that within a certain period of time? How long is it going to take me to double my money? Typically, what the professionals say is, if it doubles your money within 7 years or less, then typically those are great business opportunities. Now, some will double you even sooner than that, but that's what the traditional pro says, because we're looking at this from a long-term perspective. So you have to understand all of those different pieces of the puzzle. The other thing that's valuable, let me see, how am I doing on time? Because I don't want to do just too much. Well, there are 3 important words that Ben Graham shares as far as investing that we need to know, and that's margin of safety. And guys, if I'm talking about terminology that you don't understand, that's what I'm teaching in Women Who Invest. See, we have to do this over the long haul. How do we figure out all of these different things? You can say, yes, I can identify a wonderful business, but how do I do that? That's what we teach you in Women Who Invest, right? We teach you how to identify those. How do you know whether or not this is a 50% off, right, opportunity for this particular investment? But for margin of safety, what is margin of safety comprised of? There's 3 things, and I'm going to give you these 3 things, and that's going to be it. And I'm hoping that I'm not going too far down into the details for you, okay? For margin of safety, first thing is it 50% below the sticker price. That's what you have to look for, all right? And we talked about that. How do we buy it on sale? That's what it is. 50% below what we know as the sticker price for that company. So if I know that Lynn Company ABC is worth $100, when it comes to $50, that's when I want to buy Lynn's Company ABC. Okay. The second thing, is it going to pay you back in 8 years or less? All right. If you happen to invest in this opportunity, is it going to pay you back in 8 years or less? That's what you need to be focusing on, because we're thinking more long-term with these investments. Now, there are some investments that are short-term that we'll also talk about, but right now we're focusing on long-term because that's truly an opportunity for us to build generational wealth. Okay, and then the third thing is that 70% of the tangible book value or less. So what does that mean? The price point. Okay, is it 70% of the tangible value, the value of that thing that we can see, 70% of it? Can we say that it is definitively worth that amount? If you cannot say that it's definitively worth that amount, then do not invest in it. Okay, so if you're looking at, let's say, the Great Cookie Company, you see those all in the malls, right? And what we typically do is talk about, how do you assess whether or not a company is a good investment? What do banks do? If you want a loan from the bank, what does the bank tell you to do? They ask you for all your information. They ask you for your credit score. They look at your payment history. They look at all those different pieces. All of those are different indicators of you as a person as to whether or not they're going to be able to get their money back from you, essentially, is what they're doing. That's the same thing you do with businesses, talking about how do you look at the financial statements of a business. And you don't have to go that deep into the weeds, guys. And I don't want this to seem so complex because it's easier than it sounds. But the terminology that's used in the investing world is what scares people away, right? And the easiest thing that we can do, guys, is simply to educate ourselves. Once we identify what those words mean, you'll be like, really? That's all it was? You mean I've been waiting all this time just because I thought that was something that was so complex that I really didn't have to know everything about. All I needed to understand was, what did that word mean? And I'm like, oh, okay, now I can make some decisions, right? Now I can make some educated decisions that are now going to allow me to protect my portfolio. So I hope that hasn't been too far down into the weeds, but if there are any additional questions, go ahead and share those in the comment section or inbox me and we can talk a little bit more detail. But I did want to offer those of you who are ready to go deeper, to learn more through this process. And this is the beauty of it, guys. If you are getting ready to start investing, now is the time to start learning. You don't want to wait until you have your money all right and you're ready to go invest and then try to get the education. You need to be learning about it now as you're going through so that you have all of your ducks in a row. You can hit the ground running, right? So in the process, while you're getting your finances in order, while you're getting that money set aside to invest, educate yourself. Get every piece of information that you possibly can, because we all know the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race, right? Don't try to jump in and do things all crazy and quickly. Slow and steady wins the race. All right, Miss Co-host. I wanted to turn it back over to you. If there are no questions or comments, I don't see any questions coming in the comment section so far. All right, you having some technical difficulties over there?
Well, yeah, it just said, would you like to turn your phone off? And I'm like, no, I don't want to. What is going on?
Oh, okay.
I had to move the thing off the button. I thought it was on the button. I posted your link. It's still bit.ly/www.invest. So I posted that for you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, Trenda. Understanding is empowering. That takes you to your next level. Just need to build the momentum and keep it going. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for my financial confession and conversation this morning. I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach, and I'm going to pass it back over to my co-host, Miss JoJo.
Yeah, Lynn, it's all way hyped this morning, honey. Those book signings will do it for you, Lynn.
Yes, they will. Won't he do it?
Won't he, will he? Will he, won't he?
Yes.
All right, guys. Make sure you check out, get in touch with Lynn so that you can get a signed copy of her book. Because I'm sure you don't. I need a copy, Lynn. What am I talking about? I want one. I need to add it to the my little bookcase over here.
All right, absolutely.
All right, today, guys, for the Fearless Thought of the Day, we're going to be talking about breaking away from other people's expectations. And let me tell you how hard that's going to be for you. It's going to be real hard. I ain't even going to lie. It is going to be extremely hard. And it's simply because we, and when I say you, I mean in me too, we have built our entire lives around what other people expect of us. Remember, I tell you, we wear titles for everything and everybody and how exhausting it is. And stop pretending was what we talked about last week. And so when you are breaking free of other people's expectations, it's going to be so hard, because you are going to realize you didn't realize that they had that expectation of you, or that you was even carrying the responsibility of it, first of all. And then you're going to feel bad because you're thinking you're letting somebody down. But in all honesty, you're just being true to yourself and no longer pretending and no longer living within the confines of what they defined you of. And so as you're redefining yourself, setting new rules to you, doing new things, breaking those expectations that other people have for you is going to be a little bit difficult. And playing into
Right.
that is you're going to have to learn how to deal with criticism. I think that was the hard, those are the two, I say that all the time, but those are like the top two things. Because when you're breaking away from what everybody is expecting of JoJo, they're going to criticize you and they're going to eat you alive. Some people won't, but it will be the people that you least expected that will hurt your feelings the most.
Right.
What are you doing? I can't believe you're doing that. Why are you acting funny? You know you from Union Mills. You know you from Far City. What do you think you are doing? Calm down. And that's
Right.
when we talked about those gentle dream killers last week. Girl, you doing way too much. You are doing so much. I don't understand that. You got that little business. Let me tell you, Charlene, it is so hard because when you, especially when it comes to your parents, your sisters, your brothers, because they all have, in my family, I'm the jokester of the family. I'm not only the jokester, I'm also the mean one. And to break away from that and be like, no, I don't want to laugh about that. No, I don't have a joke about it. It was hard because then people are like, well, what's wrong with you? Nothing. You always so serious. I've always been this way. Yeah, I just didn't allow myself to be that way with you because your expectation was for me to be funny when that's true. That's a part of me, but it's not the core of who of who I am. So as you break away from these expectations of what other people have from you, Charlene, your family will challenge you. You've got to learn how to cope with criticism and see it and I had to realize it may not have been criticism. It was just them expressing their belief that they may not understand where I'm going, why I'm going, and what I'm doing. So then it's my job to educate them. Now, if they choose not to be educated on what I'm doing, that is A-okay as well. But at the same time, I had to learn to live with how they gave their reaction to me. It may not have always been in the most positive light, but it was how they were communicating to me. And I had to receive that and understand, hey, that's great. That's your life and this is mine. And so when you let go of those expectations, you are free, my friend, of more than you ever could imagine. Because when it is hard, because you don't realize it, you have expectations, just like we have titles everywhere. You have expectations at work,
Right.
at home, with your parents, with your kids, with your husband. You have expectations everywhere. But what are your own expectations? What are you setting yourself up for? Or are you setting your life up to live for everybody else other than yourself? Which can be exhausting because, and what you'll find at the end of your life or at the end of whatever you thought the kids are out the house, they're grown, and now you're free to do all the things you said you want to do, but your expectations of everybody else's life has framed yours in such a way you don't know it. Remember, I talked about this a couple of months ago. You don't even know what you like anymore. You don't even know what you want. So now here you are at a crossroads and you feel completely lost. Yep, that's right, Charlene. And they will. And it's because they didn't know you could do it, because they may not have done it themselves and they may not have understood. And this is what I had to realize about my friends and family. Right. Trenda and me and Trenda had a whole conversation about this, and this will be a topic for another day. You have to live for yourself. And sometimes people get upset. I had a whole host of friends that were upset with me when I made some life decisions without them. And I didn't tell them till after the decision was made. And I'd done what I had to. They was like, what? I didn't need your approval. I didn't need you to come and tell me. But see, that was different. I was breaking away from their expectations because I'd always done it a certain way. And when you do something differently and they don't understand, to them it's bad. To them it's, oh, you're hiding something, or you're not sharing. And it's not you. That's right. Girl, say it, Charlene. You've got to break down your mentality. And here's the thing, when it comes to dealing with criticism, you've got to be mentally strong, because if you're not, all this is going to come into play. You're going to find yourself reverting back. And remember, I said this is the place where battles are won. As you're changing, as you're letting go of other people's expectations, if you can't handle that criticism, you're going to go back to doing what they know JoJo should be doing or what Lynn should be doing. They're going to go back to the safe zone they have you in. They have you in a safe zone. You didn't put yourself there. They put you there. And that's okay if you want to get out. Right. They're doing worse than you are. And that's hey, to each his own. You got to handle your business for yourself. You got to do what you need to do. So don't allow somebody else's expectations to deter you, to pause your life dreams because they don't understand. You got to let go of those expectations of other people, because it will drain you. It will change your life. It will restructure your life to such where you don't even recognize who you are anymore. And let me tell you, for me, and this is my confession for the day, mine had gotten so bad where I could not sleep at night because I was like, this is not me. This is not who I am. And when you start to realize in your relationship with God is getting different and your spiritual awareness is becoming stronger and you are learning some things for yourself, and somebody tries to make you do something that at your core is not who you are, but you again trying to meet their expectations, it will keep you up at night. It kept me up at night. And I was searching for like something that's not right. I gotta fix this, but I don't really know what it is. And then I realized it was the expectations that others were putting on me.
Wow.
And I had to put my big girl panties on and address it and say, hey, yeah, that ain't what I want to do. And be okay with saying that's not what I want to do, and take the criticism and go on about my merry way. Yeah, I was physically, I had headaches. I was sick on the stomach. I wasn't sleeping. And it was getting to the point where I got to do, it was becoming urgent. I got to do something right now. Like I cannot go another day doing this. This is what I'm not going to, and that's my phrase. This is what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to keep doing this. This is not going to continue. And once I got to that place and released myself of other people's expectations, and I tell you, I felt so much better. You will be surprised at the relief you will have. So you got to learn to deal with people's criticism of you, what they think of you and your new journey and why they may not understand it. And then you get to choose if you get to explain that or not, because not everybody gets access to you. And then when I figured that out, that I don't have to explain it to everybody. What? Oh, you mean I don't have to tell you my business? Oh, okay, I got that. Because I was, and Lynn, if Trenda, y'all know me, I used to tell if you ask me a question, I tell you all my business. Now people ask me a question, it's either yes, I want to tell you, or no, I don't. And then I still get to decide how much I want to tell you, because it's my business. Exactly. It's my journey, not theirs. And you have to, it's a privilege to be in your circle. It's a privilege to be your friend. It's a privilege to be on this journey with you. And likewise, it's a privilege to be with your friends and on their journey. As the Bible said, first, you must first show yourself friendly to have a friend, right? So you got to give to receive. So it goes both ways. Just know it's a privilege to be in somebody's life and to have someone in your life. But let go of those expectations there on this Motivational Monday. Look at the expectations that others have set on you and be motivated to get rid of at least one, or to address one of those expectations, and be ready to deal with the criticism that comes with it, because the new you will thank you for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm everyone. That is right, my friend. That is so right.
So we have to have Charlene come on and do her rendition of Whitney Houston, I'm Every Woman. Come on in,
you might have to sing it now, Charlene.
We're going to have to get you on here to go live, right?
Yeah. And my mama said, if you don't make the choice will make a to the man. Because what you'll find is you didn't make the choice, but your life made the choice for you, and you're living it. If you don't make that choice, you're going to live it. You making a choice one way or another, my friend. Either you speaking it or you allowing it to happen to you. And then you cannot get upset with anybody in life because you allowed that to happen. And when I figured that part out, and you can tell I'm passionate about that part, you cannot complain. I don't do well with complainers, and especially when you have a different way to do something. You have a different way to do it. And I did not get so adamant about that until I, went through the abuse and came out on the other side. Then I knew I couldn't handle complaining, because at that point I couldn't handle it, because there was no reason to complain. If you can make it through that, you can make it through anything, because I know crazy. I am the only live past crazy specialist. So I understand what crazy is. And if I can live past it, surely the goodness, your complaining can stop, and you can do something different about your situation. And some people think it's hopeless, when truly it is not. When you give your situation more power than your brain and mind can give power, then yeah, it is hopeless. But when you stop and think you can change it, then your whole mindset changes. Your whole the game will change, as they say, at that point, because you rule it. So why limit yourself to your situation? I refuse. I absolutely refuse. So I'm gonna get off that soapbox, because I can go all day. So thank you guys for joining anything you want to add, Lynn, before we close out, Miss Arthur?
Well, I just wanted to say that was very profound right there at the end, and we hear it all the time. Don't focus on your problems, focus on your God. Don't focus on your problems, focus on your solutions. Don't focus on your problems, focus on your next. That's my closing for the day, guys. Yes, and
yes, ma'am. Focus. Because here's the thing. And when I got this, and when I tell you it was over with for me, and okay, and some days you slip, you have those moments, but by the end of the day, I've come back to why am I worried again? Because am I not the child of God? And if it gives him great pleasure to take care of the birds and the fowls of the air who have no place to lay their head, it would give him how much more pleasure to do for me? And I'm like, oh, he got me. Because when I'm deep in my worry, or when I'm worrying about something and frustrated, I can forget that part. And then when I remember that, I rest. I promise you, I say that, and I rest a whole lot easier. I was like, well, if he's taking care of the birds and they don't have anywhere to sleep and don't even know what they're going to eat, and I'm his kid, what is he going to do for me? Oh, let me go ahead and take this nap, because he got this under control. He does not need my help at all. When I tell you, when you get that, your peace of mind is priceless. Your sleep is priceless. And honey, I will knock right on out like I ain't got a care in the world. And some days you do, you slip up and you forget. But when I remember, I stop worrying. So I will not preach that this morning. I'm not a preacher. I'll leave that to Lynn. That was just my little sidekick for the day.
You are a mess.
All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Thank you for joining the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. We just hope that we are sharing something for somebody that needs it for today. If you know somebody needs this information, please make sure you share the video, because it's all, and now that you know, you have to share the information as well. You are now responsible for this information to share it with somebody else who may need it. So anything else before we leave, Lynn, for the day?
Nope, that's it, guys. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow, 7:15 a.m. Same bat channel, same bat place. How they used to close it out?
We gotta get our TV personality information. I think that's it, though. All right, guys, have a great Monday. We'll see you bright and early in the morning. Have a good one.
Signing off.